Now I guess we'll just follow up with some sane presentations. But what we're going to do is talk about opposite poles. Because look, everything's got to have balance. It all has to have balance. Everything has to have balance. Okay? And what this thing is good at is not giving humans or Goy balance. So we got to put that up there. Because even in the brain, you've got the pineal and pituitary, which is the same as this. North and south, hot and cold, salt and fresh water, positive and negative. You have in plumbing, male and female ends, good and bad. And see, what we have though, like a walnut, crack a walnut, it's the right and left hemisphere of the brain. It's the opposite. It's an opposite pole. And you'll peep to the average Goy, it's just too much for them. And it's right here. And it represents what we're in. North and then south. Oh, when you really get into the toroidal field, dude, like vents on top of houses, that's an invention of, it's amazing. This has to do with the unseen and your spinal cord and streaming, which would be the unseen as well. Bunch of stuff. So much stuff that people just, because they don't understand that. See, the impulses that we have that has came through this. That's what this has heard for a very long time. Generations. This right here. This whole physical being has been glued, has been covered and saturated and absorbed. Every physical being has absorbed the field. This sends out a field the same way that the magnetic field does. But instead of us knowing about the magnetic field and how important it is, we know just the same way that the ocean waves, radio waves, okay? But this, without both of these, nothing's going to exist. Do you understand? And the other day when I was sitting there listening to some music, and this is what started it. It's what I brought up this in a video the other day. That might have been the last one. But I was sitting there listening to it because we broke down towns, we broke down cities, you know, how they designed them, the components that goes into it, and social engineering of the human Goy brain. All right. Well, in order to program something, it's got to have a current. It's got to have an impulse being input to the ears. Visuals with the occipital lobe being the imagination, connected to the cerebrum RAM of the computer where it stores memory. So what you see as a child, the brain is developing into these frequencies that you don't know about, these currents of beings. That's what it is, because somebody sat there and wrote all this shit in these different tones and sounds that's not real. That's resonated to us, and we, every time that this species of Goy they hear this, then they're attentive. That's not real. It's just like on the news, they'll you don't understand. Your pole is only one-sided, and it's through their technology. And it doesn't matter if I'm sitting here, because we grew up in the South, so we have hardcore country. You know, here came rap, which before that it wasn't. It was still rap, but it was raw bass, Public Enemy, Flavor Flav. But the whole thing is this. It doesn't matter if you're in the city listening to country or rock or rap or whatever, if you're in the country or if you're in a town. It's the same inventor for all of it in order to penetrate this through the impulses, because music moves. Look, real quick, George Thorogood says, "Scratch my back, baby." He's talking about the oil on your spine. Yes. And as certain tones tickle that, and you don't know about that. False prophets do. AC/DC says that sensation running up and down your spine. Bam. Right in your face. And you have a left and right. You Pingala and Ida nerve, which is connected. That's your left and right. That's left. That's two opposite poles. Because from here split down, it's a mirror image. Stomach, liver's just another stomach. Liver's what grabs and sends everything important everywhere. And nobody knows anything. That's my whole point. To be here, two poles, you would be so open-minded. But it doesn't matter, because all this is the same, one pole. And then they all have their own little characters that they control. And both of these poles are designed to move the Goy in the same direction. And they all meet one, which is nothing but pure chaos where you're at now. That out there isn't what God created. It's not hard to see. It's just one mind. And see, this is a product. Ra would represent the sun rays. Dio is God. So sun God is what we'll see. But the same way the sun rays, Ra's, penetrate everything and produce along with the lights and pulls everything out of the seeds. The cells are being charged. Well, the same way the waves are entering the ears and they're charging the mind with tones and sounds of only one current. It doesn't matter what it is, because you can't just go to like opera or classical, and just go, hey, I'm going to listen to this because that's where it's at. It's funny, because I told somebody, and I said, I don't like going places, and I said, but if you want to find out who's who, you got to go to these little classical stuff or whatever. You know what I'm talking about. You'll see, that's what I'm saying. You do some investigating, because there's a hidden entity of one spirit of an unseen being in the one's heads above us that meet in certain places or have to, just like being in the mafia or whatever in the movies, you see it, they have to do certain things. And that's one of them because to us it's stupid. Well, of course, we've only got, just one current. And that's it. You're not open to all of it, because if you were this child here and some of that stuff, it would unlock certain things along with certain smells. If you're smelling, what's being produced from lavender or rosemary or whatever it is. You understand? All that is real. Like real. When you can get to where you can look at, certain life forms and get excited. Look, that's not you. It is, but it's not you getting excited. It's the attention. Listen, everything is controlled by the unseen. Everything that you see is a product of the unseen. The same way you would look at that life form being produced by that magnetic field. Bam! and getting excited is the same way as the Goy seeing whatever's in here in TV and going, all right, I'm going to get this gun to eat. And that destroys them. They're not real. They're not human. Well, they're not. They're just this being of Argon in their head. That's it. And so that impulse from day one, it's not hard to see it. You know, the sour heads came out as candy in that generation ate it. And then now they're older and, oh, look, it's energy drinks now. And then they're 20. And then they go, and then the doctors go, you got diabetes. They go, oh, that must be running generationally. Yeah, it's genetics, yeah. And that is a Goy. When you go to the store and then they say, would you like to donate to children's everything? And then you go, do you know that everything in those wrappers calls that? And then they go, never thought about that. Well, you can't. You're not real in the head, like we're saying in here. Your visual has been, and what you've heard is nothing but just over and over, go get this substance. It looks good, smoothing and soothing, refreshes. If you could do your inventory on commercials and ads in the middle of the 1900s, even before when all this stuff came out, the brands, need we say anymore? We shouldn't. This is a brand. This is the same as me getting it. And when that Goy mind can't put that together, and how women giving birth and ships coming into dock at their birth to produce cargo, product, commerce. It's the same way the woman comes down the shipping, the water canal, the baby vagina canal, produces doctor birth, dock birth, waiting room, warehouse. Both of them numbered, documented, and pushed out to make fucking mad money with only one fucking mindset. And you are very fortunate to be hearing some cool shit like this, because this doesn't come from, this is not me, this is not this guy. I don't claim none of this. I've cut the world off though, and I am getting fucking smashed right now. And I love it. They will not break me. They're not dealing with a physical mat that they think they're dealing with. What's in them despises what's in me. That's unseen. And they will be tortured. They will have a horrible afterlife. I mean, we're coming up on a decade, and they can only see Matt for who he once was. And their Christianity and all their religions are being tested, because I told them that's not the true Christianity. And we know it's not. True Christians are warriors. That's what they are. You know, and they're this worldly spirit that just won't listen. They're this one pole being. They're only one fucking current, and that's it. That's it. All right, I gotta get something to eat. I love you.